What's up, everybody? It's Dino Wells, and yet another episode of the Dino Wells Show. And what I'm gonna talk about today is relationships. Yeah, it's gonna get to that point. We have to get to talking about relationships because relationships do matter when you start talking relationships. If you're in a relationship, how is your relationship? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it on the rocks? Is it up and down? Is it topsy-turvy? Is it indifferent? Are you in a tyrant relationship? Well, I've been in numerous of relationships in my 45 years walking this earth. Well, I crawled first, but I've been in numerous relationships from high school to an adult. Married, two other baby mamas, and then numerous relationships after that. Been in different type of relationships, issues, security issues, on both sides of the fence, me or her, you know what I mean? Sex issues, just depends. You have to make sure that you are with a compatible person on all aspects when it comes to a relationship. I mean, if you see someone that you have that energy with, you building that energy and that bond, and y'all getting together and y'all kicking it, you getting to know, the get to know phase is the toughest part. Getting to know someone in and out. You gotta know what their likes, dislikes are. You gotta know, the whole kasaba. You gotta know everything. Well, you don't have to know everything, but it's good to know majority. If you wanna invest your time in somebody, you gotta know, their journey, their quirks, their nicks, their knacks. And of course, when you meet someone, they want to impress you. First impression is always last impression. So they want to impress you for whatever reason it may be. A man want to impress a woman to probably take her to bed. Or a woman do what they want to do to probably take you to bed. People have ulterior motives. People aren't serious or people aren't honest. It just depends on whatever the person's agenda is. My journey has been kind of broadsided by a lot of inconsistent relationships, being in relationships for 3 years at a time and not having time for myself and jump into another relationship. I was the type of person that didn't like to be alone. That still don't like to be alone, you know what I mean? I'm in a relationship and I'm in distant relationships, and it's interesting, to say the least. I have a rocky past, like I said, when it comes to relationships, and sometimes I feel some type of way. And, my significant other, she's been through her little thing or whatever the case may be, and whatever. So, with that being said, relationships are what you make it. Relationships are just something that has to be unique. You have to have that unique person. People say, oh, I gotta find my soulmate, or oh, I gotta find someone that can help me mentally, physically, emotionally, sexually, financially, whatever. You have gold diggers out there, you got bougie people out there, you got superficial people out there, you got crazy people out there, stalkers, whatever the case may be. They got different type of people that you will entangle yourself with. You might have a physical attraction to somebody. You might be physically attracted to this person and the energy might be there. You see someone, say Jane see John or John see Jane, and they have this physical attraction. The physical attraction is just to the point, it's just almost overbearing. They can't let the attraction go away. They meet up, have drinks, and then they have the bomb sex. The bomb as in good, not the bomb as in bad. They have this outstanding, remarkable, mind-blowing sex, and then all of a sudden, they have to have before all that happens, they understand they understand the game. They know it's just intimacy. They ain't trying to get nothing more, nothing less out of it. You know what I mean? And that's nothing wrong with that. Although if you go on the biblical side of things, they say no sex before marriage, or you got to abide by the laws of the Bible and all that stuff like that. I'm not a Bible thumper or nothing, so I'm not downing people. I'm not downing Christians and Bibles and nothing. I'm not downing religion or nothing. If that's what you want to do and you want to wait until you married to entangle with somebody intimately, do it. But if I said if Jane meet John and John meet Jane and they see each other and they have this physical attraction and they're single and they just want to get intimate, freaky or whatever, then there's nothing wrong with that. If they get it in, they do it, and then they live their life. Now, if it's the bomb and you have not the right mentality, you say, man, oh, I want more. I want this. I want more out of this. I just want to be in this relationship because she gives the bomb head, or he eat pussy good, and I gotta have him. Ooh, 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 ooh. That's not the way to keep them. That's not the reason to be in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Just because they fuck good. You know what I mean? Or they make love good, or they give you oral good, or whatever. They stimulate your systems. Okay, that's cool, fine and dandy, but that's not a way to be. That's a good jump off. You know what I mean? So, as for if you're in a relationship and you with your significant other and things are not going right, and then you feeling some type of way about whatever these, and those, especially if you're in a relationship and you with that person day in and day out, or if you're in a distant relationship, either or, whatever the case may be, you got to make it work some type of way. Got to make it work. Communication, conversing. You got to converse with one another, have a nice time, stimulate each other's mind, stimulate each other's body, stimulate each other's soul. Whatever the flame that you had to get together, you got to continue that regardless. But if the flame dwindle out, then, and if you don't want to spark the flame again, then, it's just time to converse with each other and just say, look, it's time for us just to step on, and don't leave in a bad way, because leaving in malice or anger or whatever the case may be is not good for future, conversations and stuff like that. So you just got to make things work. Like with my wife or ex-wife or whatever you call it, we talk from time to time. We talk, a couple of times since our son passed away, and my second baby mama, we don't talk at all. It's kind of on some other stuff with that. And my last son's mom, my last child mom, we overcame a lot of stuff. And we converse, but she's married and she's doing her thing, and I'm doing my thing or whatever. But we still can have a cordial conversation because we have our child, and she's mature, she's not childish, or whatever the case may be. Although I know I could have been childish back in the past, but that's just life. You got to stay focused. You got to build and make sure that relationship is cool. You got to have trust in one another. You have to have understanding. You have to appease to each other's, desires, and you have to be bonded to the point where you know what each other want, like, and whatever the case may be. It's just got to be a whole cohesive unit when you're together. It can't be you can't. I don't know if I'm explaining it right. When you meet that person, that one person, it has to be gelled on all aspects. You know what I'm saying? On your likes. Respect level, all that. It's just got to be on a whole togetherness tip. Well, with that being said, I'm going to take a break. We got a break coming. A break, yeah. And this is a song from out of my playlist, out of my tracks that I've made. This one is called Sacred Blessings, the prequel, because I have 3 parts of it. And this one is called Sacred Blessings. Hopefully you like it. Let me know. Yeah, that was a snippet of Sacred Blessings, the prequel. You can listen to the whole thing. Go to My Music Maker Jam and find Dr. Trackenstein, and you can hear the rest of that song. All of Sacred Blessing songs are 8 minutes long, so I didn't want to play the whole 8 minutes. I just want you to get a taste of that. So, yeah, Sacred Blessings, the prequel. All right, so we back into the relationship talk. There are different type of relationships. I've been in many type. I've been in a relationship where I dated this one lady, and I guess she was never had somebody like me before. Where I guess, no, it was crazy. I mean, she had to lock me in the house where I couldn't leave the house until she came home, whatever. I was just stuck in the house all day playing. At that time it was Sega Genesis, so I'm playing Sega Genesis in the house, just locked in there. Like, really? This is crazy, But she made sure that I was clothed, fed, and everything. But it was crazy. So that I couldn't deal with that relationship anymore, and that was cool, just to be out of it. I dated an attorney before. She was way older than me. This was in the 90s after my second baby mama. Her and I broke up. I dated. She was at that time I was 29 or 28. Her and I had broke up, and she was 47, and 48, and she was an attorney doing her thing in Atlanta. She lived in Buckhead, and she always. Oh, it was crazy that I felt like less than a man because she was taking care of me so much, and I was like, man, we go out to eat. I want to foot the bill. She's like, no, I got it. I'm like, really? I mean, I want to foot the bill sometimes, whatever. And, she stayed in the penthouse, way up in the penthouse, or at least close to a penthouse. But, that was cool. But at the same time, I just didn't feel like I could. I know I was intimidated by her, sort of at the same time. So most men can be intimidated by a woman, her power and money. So I felt that if I was still with her, things probably been different. I think it was more of a sexual thing more than anything, though. Then went back to my son's mom. She was cool. Got back together and ended up having our child, actually. Because when we were together, when we broke up, we didn't have kids. Then we got back together. Then she ended up getting pregnant. We had our child. Then after that, things didn't work out. Then I ended up meeting my second child mom. My third child mom, excuse me. And that one, I was the other guy. The cheating part, was I wrong for it? Yeah, I was the other guy, but at the same time, it wasn't quite like that because she was already getting out of that relationship. Although it was sort of like still he was wanting her or whatever, and things didn't go right with them two, and we had a daiquiri, and then that's history came after that. And months later, she was pregnant, and then ended up having a child, and got fired from my job because of her, because of, we worked together at the same job, the fraternization, and then things went downhill pretty much after that relationship. And then she ended up messing around with me with somebody else, and ended up having another child. So that was a journey in itself. All that's gonna be in my book. When my book come out, Hoodview Mirror. But back to the topic, relationships. You got to make sure that you have, all your ducks in a row when it comes to your emotions, your self-worth, your confidence, and your security. You know what I mean? Because if you're insecure about something that happened in your past and you bring it into a relationship, forward into your new relationship, like the baggage that's holding you back, it's gonna continue to hold you back. And that happened to me in the past. I let the things that happened in my relationship with my wife hamper stuff in my relationship with my second child's mom, or anything that happened in my past where even when my first love got murdered, that kind of hampered me for a minute with relationships too. I didn't know how to deal with that. I was emotional. It was almost like post-traumatic stress almost, So yeah. That's kind of a tough subject. But relationships, you have to make sure you have yourself in check when you in a relationship. Now, if you in a relationship with somebody and you're unhappy and you out there creeping around and all that, you make sure that you protect yourself for one, but then you gotta check yourself and talk to your significant other and see what's going on in your relationship, and then leave that relationship. You don't lead nobody on because that's crazy. You don't need to lead nobody on when you're in a relationship. If you want to be in an open relationship, talk about it. You never know if she's like that. But if you would have known in the beginning that, oh, I like being in an open relationship, and then she, oh yeah, I like the same thing, then y'all be in an open relationship. Or if you want to live in a polyamorous type relationship, which is an open relationship as well, where you have your guidelines together, you could do that as well. I'm not against polyamory. Polyamory is I believe is a good thing to go, the way to go actually. But you have most people these days, especially in the African American world, not down with the polyamory. There are some African American or black couples that's into polyamory, but I didn't even know what polyamory was until I worked at the country club, and I ended up really liking that lifestyle because I actually lived that lifestyle when I was with my second child's mom. Because we sort of was like polyamorous almost in a way, you know what I mean? With the things that we went through, it was just mind blowing. But it is what it is with that. That's the past, and you can't live in the past because you live in the past, it will hamper your future, especially if you keep dwelling on the past. You gotta have trust, you gotta have understanding, you gotta have, you gotta have. That's the two main things: trust and understanding. If you don't have the trust, and you don't have the understanding, then the relationship is going to be in disarray regardless. You can't be in disarray in a relationship. You can't be uncomfortable to talk to your partner. You can't be uncomfortable to talk about finances. You can't be uncomfortable to talk about the issues in your life or whatever the case may be. You can't be uncomfortable to get close to your partner. You can't be uncomfortable to talk about your sexual needs with your partner. Or you're not getting this out of your relationship, or not getting that out of your relationship. Or if you're unhappy about certain things in a relationship, you got to converse about it. I am unhappy because of this. I am unhappy because of that. And try to work and fix it. Like me, I like my girl, she doesn't like me. I don't know, just airing shit out, but I like ass and titties. I like seeing pictures. I like commenting on women's pictures, especially my little childhood crush. You know what I mean? I used to comment on hers. I don't comment on her pictures too much anymore. I just like them. I don't comment or whatever because, my girl, it makes her feel some type of way. So I don't comment anymore because of her feelings. You know what I mean? So I don't do that. But I still like the picture. You know what I mean? Because, it's what it is. You got to be open and honest to talk about anything when it comes to relationship. You know what I mean? You have to. Everything is just, it is what it is when it comes to relationships. I'm going to have to take another break because this is a deep subject to me. I can talk about this forever. I got 24 minutes to talk about other parts and portions of relationships. Stalking. If you break up with someone, you can't just get over it and you stalking your loved one, your former one. That's bad. Stalking. I've been there. I dated this one girl when I was in Job Corps, and we was together for a while, and then we broke up, and I made sure no dude talked to her for a long time. Dudes try to holler at her, and I just run them away. It's just because that lifestyle I lived at the time. I was in that thug world, and I was like, nobody else can have her with these men. Then I realized that's me being childish and dumb. So I had to stop it. And I realized, yes, I lived that lifestyle at one point. I couldn't give up. I was pussy whipped. That's what they call it, pussy whipped. I was pussy whipped. And once I overcame that and got out of that, everything else was all good. You know what I mean? Yeah. So being pussy whipped is not good. You know what I mean? It is not. You have to learn how to control yourself. And by me being a Scorpio, I've learned how to control all aspects of me. I get horny. And this is, I put explicit on this. Yeah, I know what I do when I'm horny. I get my lotion, get my toilet tissue, and then I just go handle my business, Because like I told you, I'm in a distant relationship. I have women want to holler at me all the time. Women that want to, and when they get on the disrespectful tip, I don't holler at them anymore, But sometimes I say, damn, I've been in and out of relationships so much, and I've seen so much in relationships. You just have to really, you have to assess yourself. Sometimes I feel that I rushed into this relationship I'm in now. I super rushed into it, but I never had one like this before, and it was interesting. And find out we really didn't know each other because of the gap, the time, gap in between where we from when we met a long time ago to now, and trying to fill that gap up with getting to know and knowing what's going on and this and that and these and those, the hurt, the baggage. I had more baggage than she did. You know what I mean? More pain, more hurt, more scars, more wounds, more open wounds, more salt in the wounds, all that. And you know, I still deal with the pain, the hurt, the wounds, and all that. I still deal with it. I still deal with it every day, my way, you know. And I stay focused and just move forward. And that's what you have to do in a relationship. You got to stay focused and you got to move forward and not let nothing get you down. With that being said, here you go to the next song. This is Sacred Blessings Part 1. Enjoy. And while the song is on, I'm gonna let you know, I was just thinking about it from the break. If you're in a relationship and then you're in the bed with each other and you sleeping with your back to each other all the time, and that means you have ill feelings towards each other, or whatever feeling it is, it's not a cool vibe sleeping in the bed back to back, or sleeping with your full clothes on, or you know, it just if you're not happy, you know, you got to make it work, you know, some kind of way. If you trust and you love that person and you have feelings for that person, you got to make it work some kind of way. And if you don't feel like it's enough to make it work, then you just got to go separate ways and still try to be friends, though, at least. You know, preserve the friendship. Don't end it on darkness, you know what I'm saying? You want to still preserve a friendship. I'm talking over Sacred Blessings Part 1 because this is my favorite song, actually. Then you got Sacred Blessings Part 2, which I will play that right now. This is Sacred Blessings Part 2. Being in a relationship is a sacred blessing. This is Part 2. Check it out. Yeah, that's Sacred Blessings Part 2. A little snippet of that. You can still check that out on my Music Maker Jam, Magic's Music Maker Jam. You can find me at Dr. Trackenstein on there. Yeah, so other than that, everything else is looking good though. Everything else looks good when you have all your ducks in a row, you're financially situated. Because the most part of a failing relationship is financial issues. People say, oh, it's the sex. No, it's not the sex. It's more finances is the biggest cause of a relationship falling apart. I could say that about my last relationship with my kid's mom. I could say that. No, I can't say that about my second baby mama because we really didn't have no financial problems. I was financially situated. In the beginning with my last baby mom, we were financially situated. Then I made some sacrifices to get into the film business, and she did not feel me making that transition without telling her. That's when the communication kicks in. You got to make a communication. You got to communicate, and I didn't communicate with her, and that's what happened. So that was crazy. Anyway, I'm gonna play Sacred Blessings Part 3. Let me know what you think about that. This is Sacred Blessings Part 3, the finale. Yeah, that's Sacred Blessings Part 3, the finale in the Sacred Blessings family. So y'all hear that? Only thing I did was took the Sacred Blessings Part 1 and just tweaked the tempos on all 3 of them and added some other instrumentals to it, which was kind of cool, you know. But yeah. So like I said, relationships, you have to be on the same accord. You have to have communication. The sex had to be great. Finances had to be on point. And if you broke and you had someone that want to take care of you, that's cool. But if the person's not used to it, you have to accept. You have to really nurture and be there and understand and learn. You gotta learn them, or him or her, depends. You know, just like if a man is not used to a woman taking care of him, or a woman not used to him because she's independent, not used to a man taking care of him, you know, y'all bumping heads because of that, then you have to work that out some kind of way. You know what I mean? Or if you in a relationship, you've been having all kind of bad, fucked up relationships in the past, and you in a relationship now that you have a spectacular woman or man, and they're doing great for you, and you still stuck in the past, then that relationship is not going to work because you're stuck in the past. Like I said before, the past will destroy something if you're trying to build something in the future. So you got to stay focused and leave the past alone and build something for the future. Now, if you in a relationship with someone and y'all awesome, and you keep throwing subtle nuances out there, and you're feeling some type of way, or you're feeling not welcomed, or you're not feeling enough conversation, or you whatever, and your person is grinding, or if he or she or he out there grinding, doing their thing, focus on their grind in their respective field of business or whatever it is, you have to be there and respect that grind and be there. Space is the key when it comes to relationship. In a distant relationship, space is, you just have nothing but space. But in that space, idle hands, is the devil's playground, pretty much. So that's what they say. I don't believe that. They say, oh, idle hands is the devil's playground. Bullshit. It's just the person's mentality. If you have a man that was polyamorous or had lived that sort of polyamorous life and trying to become monogamous or try to settle down to be monogamous, he's working to be monogamous, and then it's awesome, I don't believe in cheating. I don't believe there is a such thing as cheating. If someone is messing around because they messing around, it's because that's what they do. You know what I mean? That's just their MO. That's just their style. That's their life. And it's not cheating. It's just that's them. You just hooked up with the wrong person. they don't want to be in a relationship if they want to sleep around with Jane, Janet, and Jaleesa, or Tom, Dick, and Harry. That's just fucked up. You know what I mean? If you with somebody and you're not understanding that's that person, don't intertwine yourself with that person unless you. But women are more emotional. And they get too emotional when they get into a intimate thing. If you don't have all the parameters put together when y'all conversing. So if the parameters are not there, then that's gonna be already instant. That's gonna be instant fail for both. It's an epic fail actually. So basically, you just have to really build bond. Don't get married too soon. Don't get married too fast. They say, when is too soon to get married? When is soon too soon to propose? When is too soon to do this? Like my girl, I can see myself growing old with her. At times, with issues that arise from time to time, makes me feel some type of way about marrying her because I've been married once and I just don't feel it at times. Sometimes we're like, yeah, marriage is great. Let's do it. 2017. Then I think about it, I don't know about it because I just don't see that sometimes. But it just is what it is. If it happened, it happened. It don't. I believe that we had a solid, strong friendship, her and I. We have a unique friendship that's beyond whatever I ever had in my entire life. She's the best thing that ever happened. Yes, she feels some type of way about my baby mama sometimes. Yes, she feels some way about my childhood crush because I have feelings about my childhood crush. But that's just life, You can't take feelings away from somebody. It is what it is. It's just life. If you with somebody and they have feelings for somebody else and you get with this person, they have feelings and stuff built up before you got there. So there's nothing you can do about them changing that. It's just there. Just like if you had feelings for somebody, they expect you to change it, or say, oh, you got to change your feelings. You can't love this person like that because you love them, or whatever the case may be. I'm just saying that I don't know how to put it. You got to work it together as a team and build. Get to know, no stalking, no sneaking, privacy. Everything should be on the table. That's why they have privacy locks on phones. That's why they have privacy locks on computers. So what is there to hide? That's what it's there for. If a relationship doesn't warrant you have access to every goddamn thing that your significant other has. Like, I would never want my significant other's password to their phone, computer, or none of that shit. I give two shits about it. I give two shits if I was in a relationship and my female, she wants to be with Tom, Dick, and Harry. I'm not going to be in that relationship because I'm just going to do myself. You know what I'm saying? It's just don't need to be in a relationship, calling yourself in a relationship, but you doing non-relationship shit. You know what I'm saying? That's just not how a relationship should be. You know what I'm saying? You have to be more focused and understand each other's wants, needs, desires, and all that stuff like that. If you're in a relationship and your man, if you're a female, say, look, let's be with another woman. Or if you want to be with another man, I was in that situation before where one of my exes wanted to be with another man with our relationship, where we was dating women, like we was having women entertaining our relationships, threesomes and stuff, which was all cool. It was fun. It was entertaining. It was great. And then she said, oh, let's have a man in it. That was interesting to me. But, I was like, fuck it. That's what you want to do? Great. And it was cool, but it was a deep, dark situation because it was with one of my best friends at the time. And he said no, he didn't want to do it. And it was kind of funny. It happened anyway. And, he felt some type of way about it because he thought I set him up with it and that wasn't. And, that it is what it is. But you just got to make sure all your ducks is in a row. You conversing with one another when it comes to being in a relationship. Relationships is what it is. You have to really understand, grow, and learn one another when you're in a relationship. You have to. You got to learn. You have to grow no matter how long it takes. It doesn't take 5 months. It doesn't take 6 months. I remember this woman on Periscope. She was crying and boo-hooing over a dude that she only known for 5 months. Why is he treating me like this? Why is he saying this to me? Why is he doing this? He talking to me, 5 months. You don't really know this guy. 5 months. What do you expect to learn in 5 months? Was he dicking you down that good to the point where you lost your goddamn mind? Really? Come on. I've been with my girl now. We've been in a serious relationship since 2013, like the summer 2013, but we got back together. She found me in 2011, and we made it serious in 2013. This is 2016, so 3 years we've been in a relationship, but 5 years we've known each other totally, and that's still getting to know. I have a 23-year gap, trying to fill in, trying to learn more, trying to build, and trying to bond and build and learn. And there's some nuances and quirks here and there about me. Like, you know, if you're in a relationship, somebody's trying to change you, that's not good. And I'm saying that, I'm not saying, she's probably listening, I'm not saying you trying to change me, woman, so don't come at me with that. And are you saying I'm trying to change you? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if someone's in a relationship and they're trying to change the other person, that's not cool. If you're in a relationship with someone that's a tyrant, that's not cool. If you're in a relationship with someone that it just got to be their way or no way, that's not cool. Maybe my girl think I say everything is my way. No, I gotta compromise and sit down and break down and listen. And it's like, okay, I gotta listen to her. I gotta respect her feelings. You know, you gotta respect your partner's feelings if you're in a relationship. Now, if you're in a same-sex relationship, whatever that is, I don't know how that works out, you know, with the man-man, the girl-girl thing. I'm not against it. That's what you do. That floats your boat. Great. I heard there was still issues if you're a woman and you leave a man because men been treating you like shit. Now you got to date a woman. I heard they still have issues just like if you was in a woman-man relationship, you know, and likewise with a man-man thing. You know, I knew a dude that dated another man and they was having issues too. Like, if you have baggage and issues, the same thing applies to same-sex relationships. You know, you just got to have understanding, the strength, the trust, and bonding, and learning, and whatever the case may be. Don't go with the world tell you, you know, listen to this person, and they want to give you advice when their relationship is all fucked up too. You know, you want to deal with all that. You know, you got to listen to your inner self, trust, build, and bond. You know what I mean? You know, so I've been through so much. Right now, I can help anybody out, any type of relationship, abusive relationships, stalking relationships, inconsistent relationships, fucked up sex relationships, anything, you know what I'm saying? I can help out in there because I've been a part of all that on both sides of the fence. You know what I mean? Fucked up sex relationships, stalking relationships, tyrant relationships. And yes, I was a tyrant at one time in my life, and I learned that I can't be that way. Well, this was a good show. It's 3 minutes left in the show, and I had to calm it down. Follow me. I'm at Dino Wells. I know I was babbling on, and I played my sacred blessings, and y'all heard little snippets of that. You can Google me. Find me on Twitter at Dino Wells. Dino_Wells on Instagram. Dino_Wells on Snapchat. And I'm all just www.itsmyurls.com/Dino Wells. I'm there. Check me out. A movie that I'm in, same kind of difference as me coming out. Same kind of different as me is coming out this fall. You know, I'm shooting a movie this fall, and I just got news today. I might be fighting Montel Griffin in an 8-round fight coming up soon. So hopefully that might happen. We're working that diligently. So hopefully that will take place. Man, that would be great if it happens. With that being said, everybody, relationships, learn, love. Trish, love you, baby. Just bond, grow with your partner, know every aspect of them, nurture, build, have a nice time, enjoy, have outstanding sex, everywhere. You know what I mean? Be open-minded and just learn. Well, I'm an open-minded person, so, you know, I'm me. You know what I mean? But just enjoy life in peace and love. Enjoy, everybody.
This is the Dino Wells Show. The Dino Wells Show is brought to you by Spreaker. And you can find Dino Wells on Twitter at Dino Wells. You can find Dino Wells everywhere online. Dino Wells, the next household name.